Ah, I'm gonna do all of them again because I literally do not know what to do anymore. Oh man, I need a new CD player so bad. Ah. I've been having a lot of fun today driving around pretty much all day, and I just tried to start it and it is not starting. So here's what happened. Oh, earlier I was getting some clicking sounds, now it's barely even clicking. Nothing. Oh god, now there's not even a clicking sound. Man, as if it already wasn't a long day, I really wasn't expecting my car to die on me. So I'm gonna do some research and see what it could be. From what I've seen online, it might need a new starter, but the battery is new, I think about 6 months ago, so I don't really suspect that, but I'm gonna check that with a multimeter and see how it's doing. Cars are pain. We got less than 10 volts. Beautiful. Alright, so not that bad. The battery is pretty new, so I'm surprised it's having issues. So I'm going to see if it just needs to be recharged at like AutoZone, or if I need to try to get a hold of the previous owner so that we can get it replaced for free under warranty, because it's 6 months old. So I was pretty surprised that I was having battery issues with this car, but I didn't really get too concerned about it. I figured I must have left the headlights on for a few hours or something. So I took it to AutoZone, got it recharged, and just popped it back in. Alright, so got the battery back. They said it was really low, which I knew. I measured 9 volts, and by the time I got it to them the next morning, today, it was 6 volts over there. But he said the battery is healthy and it charged up, so either the alternator is bad or there's some sort of parasitic drain when it was parked. I'm gonna start it up, see how it looks. Oh! Yeah, okay. Took a minute. Weird. It tried to start for a while. Huh. Wonder why that was. So I'm gonna check if the alternator is working. From what I understand, if the car is running, it should be at around 14 volts because it's also actively getting charge. Yep, 14.6. All right, battery is healthy. So I was pretty convinced the alternator was fine. But just to make sure it wasn't a fluke, I started the car several more times and it was starting up just fine. So I considered the problem fixed and went on with my day. Okay, so yesterday I found out that my battery is draining and completely died. So I got recharged at AutoZone and I put it back in. And since the battery is 6 months old, I said, hey, I'll let future me deal with it 6 months down the road. But now it is the next day and my battery is completely dead. And I have no clue why. I'm kind of shocked. Like, look at this. I'm putting the key in and there's no power at all. Last time it was at least clicking. Like, the lights were going on, the headlight turns on. Zero power. So something is very much wrong. So now I gotta jump my car, but because the battery is in the back of the car and the front of the car is facing my driveway, I have to push the car to turn it around so that my roommate can pull over his car and we can jump it. And then I'm gonna try and diagnose what is going on, which I have no clue what's happening. So now I was starting to realize that there definitely was something wrong with the car. It wasn't just a mistake I might have made by maybe leaving the headlights on. Something seemed to be actively draining my car's battery. So this was a problem I had to fix now. And now I'm starting to realize this problem might actually be worse than I thought, because the battery was reading 0.03 volts instead of like 12 volts. You have what?
I have like 2 mosquito bites since we've gone outside.
Oh, welcome to my life. You want? And to make it even more embarrassing, we were struggling to jump the car. It didn't seem to be working, although possibly because the battery was so low, but while moving the cables around, it sparked and seemed to provide power for like 1 second. This is so funny.
Something happened, right?
I know, it sparked. It sparked and then my CD came out.
It was happening.
Maybe it just that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
It means there was a...
We tried jumping the car for a while, but it seemed like it just was never able to get enough charge to run. Fuck! It stopped. I know, but it freaked me out. So at this point, I was starting to get a bit frustrated, but also a bit concerned. And worst of all, I can't take my Miata out on my normal weekend drives. So I really want to figure this out quick. Because it did exactly. And I have no experience diagnosing electrical issues or battery issues with the car, so I'm kind of just going off of whatever I found on the internet. And the first thing I'm just doing is just seeing if there's anything obviously wrong in the engine bay. If I see anything wrong with wires, maybe any exposed wires or cut wires or even anything that's been chewed on by rodents. But there was nothing. So then I had to sit down and really do some more proper research of what could be wrong, and then mainly how could I go about diagnosing this, because I'm learning this for the first time. Alright, I got the battery back from AutoZone, and the guy confirmed that the battery is perfectly healthy and holding a full charge. So I definitely have a drain in the car. So I guess I'm going to start chasing that down. But before I start, I'm just going to do a quick check and check that this is indeed at 12 volts. Yup. That is significantly more than the 0.03 earlier. So I think what I'm going to do is not put the battery in the car and leave it overnight, and only put it in the car when I'm ready to start diagnosing it. So that way I don't kill it overnight. So it's the next morning. I got the battery charged last night, and this time I had the smart idea to leave the battery unplugged and in the house and not in the car draining overnight. And when I woke up and I checked the battery, it was at 12.6 volts, which is apparently exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm going to plug it in and start measuring the draw and see if I can pull any fuses and get that to drop. So the approach I'm talking about here is the main one I found online. That if you have a parasitic draw, you can start to identify where it's coming from by pulling one fuse at a time to see if that kills the draw and returns it back to normal, and that process would basically help you narrow down where that draw is coming from. So I really need a clamp that I don't have. I watched the Humble Mechanic video where he talked about how to diagnose this, and the first thing you do so that you don't send too much current through your multimeter is you trick the door lock by clamping it shut so that it doesn't think the door is open, and then turns on some electronics. And I don't have a clamp that big, and it's hot because it's Texas and it's already 90 degrees and it's only 10:30 a.m. So I'm gonna go get a clamp and then retry it when it's not as hot. All right, I got a clamp. Yo, easy. All right, the door. Similar thing here. I'm basically setting this trunk latch closed so it doesn't turn on the light and turn on electronics. And I'm going to wire it up and try and put the multimeter here with some cables. Alright, I heard, CD came out. And then we're looking at amperage. Oh my god. 3 amps. Aha! We definitely have a draw. Okay, so what I've done is the wire coming off of the car that should go to the battery post is going through the multimeter and then going to the battery. Okay, this explains a lot. Cool. So now that I could see that huge, almost 3.8 amp draw, I started the process of pulling each fuse and checking if that number had dropped. And in that process, I accidentally triggered this funny issue I have with my CD player. Oh man, I need a new CD player so bad. Engine. Ow. Still at 3.4 amps. We got meter. Still at 3.4 amps.
And so I slowly worked my way through that entire fuse box, but none of them got rid of that parasitic draw.
So I guess I'll check in the engine here. I guess I'll start with this one. Okay. Oh man, I have to go all the way here now. 3.33. 3.32. The fact that it's going down is concerning me. I wonder if it's already draining. 3.32. Oh man, this is so annoying. 3.31. And that number is going down fast.
And so I repeated that exact same process for the other fuse box, which is in the engine bay. But no luck with that either. I was starting to get pretty stumped.
So I pulled every single fuse out except this blue one that's really hard to pull, and this big green one. I don't know what to do. I don't know if it's a horn fuse. It kind of scares me. So, you know, I don't want to... Well, I guess the horn is really small. It's not going to scare me. I'm trying to give it a shot. Oh, this is a different kind of thing. Nope. Do not understand what I'm doing wrong right now. Why can't I grab anything? Ugh.
The only fuse left was this main fuse.
Weird.
But it wasn't pulling out.
3.24, and it's going down, which is kind of crazy. Maybe like the fog light's on? No, still 3.24. Cruise, 3.24. What the fuck is going on? I'm gonna do all of them again because I literally do not know what to do anymore.
Okay, so at this point, I am just completely confused. I was so confident this process of pulling fuses would help me identify where it's coming from, but none of the fuses made any difference, and the only one left is the one marked main fuse. And that too, that one doesn't come out. I don't know why. But just to be safe, I ran through and I pulled every fuse out of both boxes again for a second time.
I have pulled literally every fuse except the main fuse. I don't know what that means.
I also didn't fully understand how this main fuse worked. I'm assuming that the fact that it's called a main fuse means that it's just an overall fuse for the car, and that all the other fuses are almost like sub-fuses within that circuit. But since that's the only one left, I did some research and started trying to pull that out, because I literally had nothing left to try.
I'm a little bit of an idiot. You see how there's a bolt in there? No wonder I can't pull this fuse out. So it looks like that plastic window has to open, and to reach that, I've unbolted the whole fuse box out. So I'm gonna see if that works. So I have finally pulled out the main fuse, the blue one, which you can only do if you take out the 10mm bolts on both sides. And guess what happened? We have zero draw. Look at that. Okay, so I don't know what the hell this means, but now I got some information. And just to prove that was the issue, everything is back in, all connected up, and if I hook up the battery here, by just touching, and you can see it's, you know, at zero. I hook it up, and, oh.
For one
Wait,
second
what?
here, my whole excitement of finding the possible issue kind of went away.
Huh?
I don't understand why I was saying
Did
zero.
I not connect it correctly?
Should have said the full parasitic draw. Put the fuse back
Wait, I
in.
still have a 0 amp draw. Oh, I have hold on. Okay, yeah. Fuck. Oh, I might have left hold on the whole time? I don't think so. Okay. Oh, I accidentally hit hold when I was trying to show you when it was 0. Okay, cool, we're all good. That was funny, I thought I solved it. Okay, with the main fuse back in, 3.5 amp draw. So I've pulled every single fuse except this green thing, which I'm not able to pull right now because it's a little bit more difficult. So I've pulled every single fuse in the engine bay and every single fuse inside. And the only thing that got rid of the draw was the main fuse. I wonder if it's just like a short in the area.
Okay.
So since I had spent a long time trying to debug this and let the battery drain, I want to run the car one time just to make sure that it had a chance to charge up a little.
Alright, we're on, but it was weak. Okay, so I did some research and I think I have a bad alternator. Apparently the diode in the alternator can go bad or blow, and that can cause a pretty heavy parasitic drain, similar to the 3 amps that I've been seeing. So I'm gonna do the same drain test again, but instead of pulling a fuse, I'm gonna pull a wire off of the alternator and see if that makes it go away. But I'm feeling pretty good. Okay, maybe I can't push it myself onto the driveway.
Okay, so today is a huge improvement over yesterday. By the end of yesterday, I was completely stumped on why none of the fuses were leading to anything, and then I learned that the alternator is not actually part of any of those fuse circuits, but is part of the main fuse. So at least now I feel like I'm back on track. I at least have something to go and look for, and I'm not just completely stumped.
Fuck me. Fuck. Didn't even need to do this. I thought... God, I feel like such an idiot right now. I'm going through a bunch of things that I feel like are rookie mistakes, as if it's my first time ever working on a car. Because it's been a few months and I already forgot a lot of my little tricks. For starters, I took off the wheel because I thought it'd be easier to reach the alternator from there. It's not. It's easier to reach from the top. And before that, when I jacked up the car, I forgot that I lowered my car and I have to drive it onto pieces of wood to raise it just an inch to make it easier to jack. So I just kind of stuffed the jack in and did all of that. Taking me almost an hour just to unscrew the alternator wire.
You can imagine my frustration having spent the last 2 days in the summer Texas heat trying to diagnose this issue, and now being stuck trying to get to what I think may actually be the cause. But I'm feeling motivated. I'm pretty confident that this has got to be it.
Okay, maybe it was easier to reach the alternator bolt from the bottom, just because there's less in your way. But I got it off, so I'm gonna plug up the multimeter and check if the current draw is zeroed out. Oh my god.
And this is it. This is the last possible issue that I could find from my research. And so if this doesn't fix it, I don't know what else to even do.
Did it! Oh my god.
And it actually fixed it.
Look at this. Look at that. 0.01, 0.02. So we're looking at 10 to 20 milliamps. Not 3.6 amps of current. Oh my god.
The relief after stressing about this for days was amazing.
I feel good. This was super weird. And I put a lot of effort to do, honestly, a really simple test. So I'm glad it at least paid off. So I guess next episode will be an alternator install, which will be interesting because I just learned what an alternator is a few hours ago. So stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching.